We almost made a huge mistake. Luckily, Courtney caught it after only having installed one window box.
We're Riley and Courtney Casey. Frustrated by the 9 to 5, we set out to make a living making things. Through your incredible support, we've been able to bring you along for the ride, and we can't wait to share our next chapter with you. Say hello to 20 acres of raw, off-grid land in northern Idaho.
We are at a window and door and building material liquidator, and there are just stacks and stacks and stacks of windows and doors. Trying to see if there's anything we can find that'll work for us. It's kind of overwhelming though, looking through all this stuff. I'm sure there's something here that'll work for us. We made it to the basement where it turns out there are even more windows. Courtney.
I am so overwhelmed right now. I don't even know what to do.
It's one of those situations where now we feel like we have to look at every single window to find the best windows. There are a lot of options down here.
That's all of them, right?
Courtney, what do you think?
I think we found enough windows. It was very overwhelming at first, but I think we're on track.
We're now headed up the stairs to look at sliding glass doors.
Now the question is, can we get these home without destroying them?
Courtney and I are staring at our pile of non-packaged miscellaneous doors and windows, trying to figure out how to load them up when the guys that work here just came out and they were wizards at Tetris and stacked them all in here carefully. We bought a bunch of moving blankets. I think these are gonna make it.
I'm sweating and I don't know if it's because I'm really excited or if it's because it's 104 out, but. So that was all the easy part, and now we have to figure out if we can get these windows and doors to our property without breaking them.
It's going to be a slow couple miles up the road.
I'm actually not that sad that we're gonna have to sit in the air-conditioned car for a lot longer because it's 102 out. Slow and steady.
Having 4 low.
It's so slow.
Do you feel like we're going really slow?
We're going really slow. If the speedo doesn't even register the speed we're going, that means we're going very slow. But you're doing a good job. We're renaming our business Elegance. And then I can stop taking the sticker off. Does that work?
No.
This trailer was previously a wedding rental business trailer. We've been driving around with the stickers on because it's very time consuming, but I'm gonna take them off now.
Today we're going to start laying out our window locations in the shop. Now, it is not as simple as we originally thought. We had some beautiful sketches drawn up for where the windows would go. Then we realized that the window location is highly dependent upon the location of the corrugation of the steel siding. So right now we're working on figuring out our steel siding layout so that we can then figure out the window layout and get our window boxes in place.
We've never worked with metal siding before, so learning as we go, but we made this story stick.
Basically, this is the edge of the sheet, and then each line is the center of a rib. And the idea here is that we're going to use this to figure out how the sheets lay out to make sure that they line up with our windows. This is the center of the window here, which is centered between these posts. I'm just going to mark, let's see, I want the flat of the panel to be on the center, not the rib. And then I'm going to mark each rib location as we go out. So that puts the edge of our window perfectly centered between 2 ribs.
Nice.
So we had talked about our window header being at 16 feet, but if we put the bottom of the window box on the, even with the top of this wall girt, that'll save us a step and put it at 15.5. Do you think that looks good?
It looks great.
Basically, the window will be centered between these 2.
That looks awesome. another reason we should have resisted the urge to add any of the permanent bracing until we actually knew where the windows were going, because this bracing is in our way. So we gotta pull it down and move it to a different bay that's not gonna have windows. Now that we have our spacing figured out for our corrugation and our window locations nailed down, it's time to make our window boxes.
These are the boxes that are going to get mounted to our wall girts to give a place to solidly mount the window into.
Learning another new thing. What's it feel like to work on a table?
This is really nice. It's like flat and at the correct height.
Now it's time to figure out how to get them up there, and we returned the telehandler, so I think this is gonna be pretty time consuming.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about how to lift them into place, screw them off, and with only one girt to support them because these windows are so short, the whole thing's gonna wanna like fall over.
I have an idea. I think I figured a way to lift these windows up into place, and we're gonna give it a shot.
I'm gonna spare you the gore, but I have a splinter under my fingernail that goes all the way from the tip of my finger to my cuticle, and I can just like see it under the nail. Whoo, it hurts. I cannot get it out with the tweezers. Gordon's gonna give me some fingernail clippers and that is what I pulled out of my finger. It hurts so bad coming out. I know. I need to be wearing gloves.
Aside from Riley impaling his finger on a splinter, putting that window box in went really well, so we're gonna just go ahead and keep implementing that and get these other two done. The sun's going down, it's gonna get dark soon, so we don't have time to install all of our boxes, but we're gonna get them all framed.
That way tomorrow we can get a fresh start and get all those boxes installed. Plus tonight we have to figure out where they go.
Framing our 3 window boxes yesterday went really well.
So today we're gonna start on the apartment. These windows,
Are really important. The location of them matters way more than the shop windows.
I mean, like the bathroom window down to the inch has to be in the right spot or it totally messes up the shower layout, so.
We spent last night going over our floor plan, drawing it out, making sure that we have everything where we want it. I think we do.
Hopefully there's no math errors.
We're gonna get to it.
The first problem is I can't really read my illegible notes. Dang it. Should have had Courtney write it.
Ready?
Yep. We almost made a huge mistake. Luckily, Courtney caught it after only having installed one window box. We totally neglected to think about where the ribs on the siding were going to land when choosing our window placement, and that's absolutely critical for the way that you trim out the window to make sure it's watertight. These tick marks here, here, and here represent the ribs on our siding if we start the siding on the edge as planned. This tick mark is just too close to that window, so we need to shift all of the siding over one way or the other. However, this is a gable wall, and shifting our siding over might make half of it too short because we got it all cut to length. So we're gonna go and check our plans and see what we can get away with. All right, after a whole bunch of measuring and staring and figuring, I think we can just sheet all of our sheet metal over that direction, a ½ inch, and it's all gonna be okay.
And now, going forward, we are going to pay attention to the ribbing on the metal. We have a bit of a dilemma to solve. These are our ribs. This is where I wanted the window to go, which is not allowed. The minimum we would move it would be here, but that's a problem because then the window will land on a rib. The other side of the window will land on a rib over here.
I think we need to move it over 5 inches.
But I don't want to move the window over 5 inches because it messes up the whole interior layout and means we have a bigger bathroom or a bigger bedroom. But I don't want a bigger bedroom or a bigger bathroom. I want a bigger living room. The other option would be to just not center the toilet under the window, but I think that might look weird. What do we do? I think we've decided to compromise on all of the above, and I think that the toilet might be slightly not centered under the window. I think the bedroom might end up slightly bigger, and the bathroom might end up slightly bigger. Turns out that this frame needs to be slammed all the way up against this column to work with our rib metal spacing, which actually means that we need to remove this, and instead these will go straight up to the column. So we're gonna add some bracing right now so that it's held square while we lift it up into place. Sometimes it's the little things, and you guys, I can see blue sky. Last window going in. It is now time to frame our biggest opening, which is our 6-foot sliding glass door.
Here I am, standing at apartment level in the slider glass door opening.
Can you see the leg?
Yes, I can see the lake. It is right there between the trees. Give you a little more detail on these windows here. So you saw the boxes we installed, and then after getting the boxes in and square and plumb, we then added this vertical bracing to give us a flush face all the way around the window to install the window fin to. It also gives us a place to install our house wrap so that the house wrap can wrap around this and we get a nice watertight seal on our windows. So one of the cool things about a post frame building like this is that because all of the load is carried directly on the columns, there is no need for a window header above windows or doors. It wouldn't accomplish anything. All you have to do is make sure that your framing is sufficient enough to support the weight of the window itself. Hey, hon. You coming up here to join me?
In our apartment.
Yeah, check out the view.
I see trees. Sometimes projects go really, really well, and sometimes they don't. And I think this one definitely falls more into the it went really well category.
It went a lot faster than expected, honestly. The windows had been kind of a daunting thing for us, but yeah, all the boxes are in, the sliding glass doors in, and it's time to wrap this thing, almost.
We haven't finalized the location for the man door, but that'll get framed in, and then it's time to move on to house wrap. Then we can install our windows, which I am incredibly excited for, and then siding.
We're getting closer and closer to having a dried-in shell of a building, and
Which is a good thing because, as people like to say up here, winter is coming. It's kind of this daunting thing that we're excited for, but also there's a lot we'd like to get done before it arrives. We're enjoying the process. It finally feels like the building is coming together. It's gonna be a building soon.
the little bit of rain we got really helped knock the dust down, and living down here in the shop area just has made our working conditions way better. We're not so dirty all the time.
And having our trailer and a table.
We're organized. It's substantially better now.
I feel like now we're building in luxury. All right, we're gonna get back to it, and stay tuned for our next episode, which should hopefully be house wrap and installing our windows.
Back to it.
Good, I got it! Ah! I hit it with this!
Out of the air.
I just watched Riley try to drink some water and then spit it out as fast as he possibly could.
There was a yellow jacket in my mouth. I took a big drink out of my cup. I felt something squirming around and I spit it on the ground and the thing flew away.
I told you to cover that thing.
I know.
Oh, you. Well, I'm being attacked by yellow jackets right now.
Okay.
I'm not gonna drop it.
You want to tie it off?